Hey guys, do you find it really hard to find trouser patterns that actually fit your unique measurements? Apparently this is quite a common complaint and something that we wanted to, let's say, resolve. So we've spent the last 2 years working on a solution. We've created a series of trouser and jeans patterns, or basic blocks, that are automatically drafted using Pattern Lab software to fit your exact measurements. To showcase this new range of made-to-measure, let's say, trouser blocks or basic blocks, we asked a group of women to help us test the fit and give us their honest and true feedback when it came to the finished product. So let's get started. Hi Mercedes, thank you so much for coming in today. It's a real pleasure to meet you. So obviously just explain a little bit about this project. So we're obviously interviewing a whole range of different women to sort of like understand any kind of issues they might have when it comes to buying commercial trousers in the shops, or any kind of fit issues they might have when it comes to, let's say, buying trousers. And hopefully we can create a pair of trousers that fits you accurately using your measurements. So, but yeah, what issues do you have when it comes to
Okay, since I'm petite, normally the problems I have obviously is like the length.
Yeah.
And another problem that I have is like if they fit my waist and my thighs, normally they don't fit on my hip area.
Okay, so like not disproportionate, but like, yeah, okay, so standard trousers doesn't necessarily fit your waist, hip and thigh, like
exactly
it can be
at the
a
same
bit.
time, yeah.
Okay, so either you have to buy one where the waist is too big or
Yeah.
the hips are too big. Okay, perfect. Well, as I said, so obviously we're going to take your unique measurements, we're going to put them into our software application, and we're going to draft some trousers that accurately fit your measurements. So these fit issues should essentially just disappear, especially leg length. Like this is easy, we can make it whatever length we want.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so first things first, what we're going to do is we're going to get you in some leggings and like a bodycon top so we can accurately take your measurements. And yeah, once we have your measurements, we can start drafting.
Perfect, thank
Cool.
you.
Okay, so before we take your measurements, it's really important to mention that obviously we need some clothing that's appropriate. So if you're wearing a big woolen jumper, or if you're wearing like jeans or something quite thick around, your bottom half, for example, if we were to take measurements, obviously that material is going to get in the way. So we need you to wear something that is obviously quite bodycon. So leggings are really important because it's tight to the body, and also just like a nice fitted top that basically doesn't have too much fabric. Also, we've isolated the waist as well. So we have obviously, so when we take our measurements, we're always taking it from the waistline. So this is important as well. So I'm just going to take about 7 or 8 measurements, and then we're going to obviously put them into the lab and then start drafting your trousers. Okay, so first of all, we take the waist, hip and waist to hip measurements. These are 3 really important measurements that will control the fit of the trousers around Mercedes' lower torso. Mercedes mentioned that the waist on commercial trousers is often too large when getting the right fit for her hips. This is a really common complaint and something we can fix by creating a bespoke trouser using her actual measurements. She also mentioned that the thigh is often a little bit too tight. The crotch extensions that control the width of the thigh are based on her hip, so we should be able to remedy this fit issue also. Next we have the waist to floor. This is also a very important measurement for Mercedes due to her being petite and the trouser length is always slightly too long. Next we have the knee and ankle measurements. These measurements are used to calculate the amount of ease required to draft the width of the lower trouser leg. And finally, we measure the body rise. This controls the depth and curvature of the crotch and is also a very important measurement. Okay, so now that we have all of your measurements, basically what we're going to do is I'm going to go to the Mac, I'm going to fire up the Pattern Lab website, and then going to put your measurements into a profile, and then we can use that profile to draft a truly made-to-measure or bespoke pair of trousers using the software. And then once we have the pattern, I'll then sample it into fabric, and then we'll create a pair of trousers, and then we'll test out the fit. So hopefully, at the end of all this, we should have a really perfect or accurately fitting pair of trousers that solves all of your issues.
Perfect, thank you.
Cool, okay. Okay, so here's the patternlab.london website. This is our homepage, looking fab. Okay, so first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the profile menu item, and this will take us to the profile. So we can start to create a profile for Mercedes, then add her measurements to then start drafting our blocks. So I'm just going to click Create New. I'm just going to call it Mercedes May 21, let's call it Test. Centimetres, so I work in centimetres. You can also choose inches. Let's click Go. And now I can start filling out her measurements. But what I can do, because obviously we're not going to use every single measurement, we haven't taken every single measurement of Mercedes, we're only been drafting trousers. I'm going to click on the Trousers tab, and this will bring up all the measurements we require to draft the trousers, so not many at all. It's only 7 in total. I'm just going to start adding her measurements. Perfect, so now I've added all of her measurements. I'm just simply going to click Draft Block. And as you can see, here is our Trousers tab. We've just clicked Trousers, and obviously it's our new block. I'm just going to click the Trousers block rather than the Jeans one, because obviously that's what we're working on at the moment. Next I'm going to go to the fit, and obviously it's already started to draft the very basic block for Mercedes measurements. As you can see here, we have our profile at the top, which we've selected. We can choose a whole variety of different ones here, depending on which ones you've entered, but obviously I'm working with Mercedes 21 test. So let's just click fit, and I'm going to go for the relaxed fit option. We're using relaxed fit for all of the girls, and this brings up all the custom eases that we can add. So at the moment, based on her measurements, it's calculating the eases to create a well-fitting yet comfortable pair of trousers. Now we can reduce these or we can increase these depending, it's completely up to you. So at the moment we're using 0.5 waist ease, 0.9 hip ease, then we have knee ease at 17.3, so quite a wide knee here, and we have the ankle at 24.9, even wider, and this is additional to the knee and ankle measurements, and we have the body rise ease at 0, so we're going to get not a drop crotch but like a slightly lower crotch. There's going to be some ease or some room there. We could always put this as a minus number just to bring that up and make it a little bit tighter, but we're working with a standard body rise. Also, we can click advanced, and this brings up a whole bunch of different options that you can use to customize your blocks even further. You can change, for example, the darts. So back dart, we can change this to be 2.5, etc. All the various different let's say dart ratios, and if you click read more, it even gives you an image that shows you where all those actual darts are located, etc. But I'm not going to focus on this too much, just because we're just going to be drafting a completely raw block. In other words, we're not going to be playing around with any of these eases. It's just exactly what's in the labs, the relax fit option. We can do this same for all of the girls. Let's next click length, and here we're going to go for the high waist version. As you can see, it's starting to draft. I'm going to go for the floor length, like so. But you can also change the custom length. So if, for example, we put Mercedes in a pair of high heel shoes, the one she's going to wear with the trousers, we could measure from the waist down to the finished length of the trouser and add that in here to create the perfect length. Let's just click front. And then here, because we're using high waist, the low waist options are not available. So we're going to go for high waist, and we're going to go for slash pockets. And we're going to go onto the back now, and we're going to go for patch pockets on the high waist, and we're going to go to the waistband, and we have a whole different bunch of options. I'm going to go for the external waistband with fly. This is the standard draft, and we can also add a waistband depth, so this could be anywhere from 2.5 to 5 centimeters, but let's keep that at 4. Once again, this is now previewing the actual pattern and all the various bits and pieces that go with that pattern for Mercedes over here in the preview. And then next we're just going to click purchase. And so here you can add in your reference. So for example, we could call this Mercedes May 21 or Trouser Project, whatever you wanted to add in here. And we can also purchase it as either a PDF pattern, so multi-page PDF available in A4, A3, A2, A1 and A0 and also US letter. Or you can get the fully editable e-pattern, which is also which you can use with our online pattern making or digital pattern making tutorials. But I'm going to go for the PDF pattern. So I want to print this straight out and don't want to make any adjustments whatsoever. So let's just click Save and Download PDF. So obviously I'm an admin user, so I don't actually pay for this pattern. However, this will take you to a payment gateway, which will then allow you to purchase this pattern. But it's going to take me straight to the library. So once you've made your payment, you will see this screen, which basically allows you to do a whole bunch of different various bits and pieces. So at the moment we have a seam allowance of 1 centimeter, but a side seam allowance of 2. I'm going to make this 1 centimeter, so it's 1 cm over the entire block. It's just going to redraft that for us, and there we have our 1 centimeter seam allowance. And I can also change the various PDF page sizes. So A4 at the moment, we can go to US letter, we can do A3, A2, A1, and even A0. But let's go for A4 because I'm printing this from home. And you can also arrange these pieces to make the very most of all of your paper. So let's just click and drag this up here. And I'm going to speed this up a little bit, but first of all, if you hold down the Shift key on your keyboard, it allows you to rotate the panels, so you can get them even closer fit. And let's just drag that into position. So I'm just going to clean this up and make sure that we're not wasting too much paper here. And obviously it expands and extends depending on where you place your pieces. Okay, so I think we're done. So I'm just going to check that no pieces are overlapping, because obviously that will print out, you'll have your pieces overlapping when you print it out, but it's looking pretty good. So I'm just going to simply go Save Layout, and this will save it to the A4. So if I now click on A3, and then I go back to A4, normally it would have obviously forgotten that selection, but if you save it, then it'll always appear in the A4 layout. And you can do the same for all of these different paper layouts. I'm just going to simply click Download PDF A4. And here you can see it has now created a document, a multi-page PDF document in A4 with all the various registration marks, scales, and it's just broken that full-scale pattern up into various different pages, which is great. So I'm just going to simply right-click and then go Save As. I'm going to place it on my desktop, and we're going to call this Mercedes May 21 Trouser Block. And just simply click Save to Desktop, Save. And it's saving it as a PDF. Now we can minimize this. Let's get rid of that. And here is my trouser for Mercedes, my PDF pack. And I can open it up, and as you can see, we've got all the various different pages in there. So there's 21 pages in total. And now I'm just simply going to print this. And I'm just going to make sure the scale is 100%. This is very important. Make sure it is not fit to page, but the scale is 100%. We'll do it in black and white to save ink. And that's pretty much it. I'm just going to click print. So now once I print this, we're going to start piecing those PDF pages together, and then we're going to start cutting it out in fabric and start constructing our trousers for Mercedes. So really exciting. Okay, so for this project we're going to be using a really lovely crepe de chine just because it's going to drape pretty beautifully. Also, I want to use the same fabric for each girl because we just want to focus specifically on the fit and how it fits each girl, so using the same fabric is really key. So I'm just going to lay this out, and then we're going to start obviously placing our pattern pieces that we've obviously cut out. And here's a pair we made earlier. No, it's basically, I hope you enjoyed that little montage we had. It took about 4 hours to make the trousers, so not too long, but here is our lovely finished pair of trousers made out of the lovely crepe material. So next, we just want to get our model in for a bit of a fitting to make sure how the fit works. But first of all, I'm going to chuck them in the trouser press just to make sure they're absolutely perfect for tomorrow's, let's say, fitting/shoot. Okay, so Mercedes, obviously we've finished off this, let's say your sample trousers. Okay, so in terms of the fit, how does it feel? Like, how's the waist and the hip and etc.? How does it feel, basically?
They feel very comfortable.
Yeah.
They fit perfectly on my waistline, also my thighs, and on my waist, on my
the hips?
hip.
Yeah,
on my hip area, where is almost the most problematic area.
Sure, okay.
It doesn't make extra wrinkles.
Sure.
And they're very comfortable.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so like we can probably do is we can maybe take them in a tiny little bit more, perhaps we could raise them, but so I was saying before, so essentially this is a raw draft from Pattern Lab. So essentially we have not done any adjustments to this pattern outside of Pattern Lab. So we put your measurements into the system, and this is what I basically drafted. So as a first raw draft, it's really not bad at all. Like it's actually, like the crotch curve is pretty decent. As you said, like the disproportionate waist and hips, obviously this is a bit more fitted now, and obviously the thigh thing's slightly better as well. Just turn around to the back for me. Also with the back, like it's a pretty decent shape over the bum as well. Like we've got a tiny little bit of rippling at the back here, but essentially, we could maybe remove a little bit from the back rise. But apart from that, as a first draft, like I'm super, super happy. But yeah, I think it's good. I think it went really well.
Thank you.
Okay, so Mercedes, thank you so much for coming in. It's been an absolute pleasure working with you once again. I think the fit as an initial draft looks really good, so I'm glad we could kind of fix some of those issues for you. So you have a photo shoot literally in about 1 minute's time, but in the meantime, I'm just going to have a quick word with these guys, but thank you so much, it's been amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, cheers. Okay, so not a bad first draft after all. As I mentioned, we've got a photo shoot coming up, so please stay tuned to watch that if you'd like to see the finished result of all of our hard work. In the meantime, I just want to mention this product is now live on the patternlab.london website. So if you want to create a really beautiful pair of fitted trousers or well-fitting trousers, simply head on over to the patternlab.london website, create a profile, add your measurements, and then start drafting your trouser block in the lab. It's really, really that simple. Also, if you've learned something new or found inspiration from this project or from this video, then please feel free to leave us some comments in the comments section. It's really fun to hear your feedback, your inspiration, like your ideas. It kind of really brings life to the projects that we work on. Anyway, in the meantime, let's head on over to the photo shoot and see the finished result of all of our hard work. Okay, that's pretty much it. However, there's just one last thing, or a few little things I want to talk about. So first of all, thank you so much to Mercedes. She was an absolute star, and I think she really enjoyed it, and we had such a great day. But as I mentioned, we have 6 other women that took part in this project. So if you want to get access to all of those videos and all of those fit sessions, then make sure you like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also turn on your notifications. We've got so much more content coming up, which we would absolutely hate for you to miss. Also, check our Instagram channel. We've got loads of, let's say, backstage videos and photos from the day, which we haven't released anywhere else apart from on Instagram. So finally, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure creating these videos or tutorials for you guys. And once again, if you have any comments, just leave them in the comments section. We love hearing your feedback. It kind of like makes our day. Anyway, once again, thank you so much for watching. Take care, guys, and I'll see you again.